When prison guards finally entered the cell the following morning, they found Osuna wearing a necklace made of his cellmate's human remains. This is one messed up story. Hello true crime fans and welcome to Behind the Yellow Tape. Imagine walking into a room and seeing a man whose face is a literal roadmap of mayhem. We aren't talking about a film villain or a Halloween mask. We're talking about Jaime Osuna, a man who spent years leading into the persona of a real-life monster, only to prove to the world that the ink on his skin was the least terrifying thing about him. Today we're looking into one of the most disturbing figures in the modern American penal system. Jaime Osuna didn't just commit crimes, he performed them. He viewed his violence as an art form, a terrifying perspective that would eventually lead to one of the most gruesome incidents in the history of California's Department of Corrections. Osuna's journey into the dark began publicly in 2011 in Bakersfield, California. He was arrested for the torture and murder of 37-year-old Yvette Pina at a local motel. The details of that case were just harrowing, showing a level of cruelty that felt personal, even though the connection was just fleeting. Osuna eventually pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty, receiving life without parole. But for Osuna, being behind bars wasn't a deterrent, it was just a new stage. He'd become a jailhouse celebrity, and for all the wrong reasons. Covered in tattoos that mimicked a skeletal grin, he often taunted the court, laughing during proceedings and leading into the man behind the mask moniker. But the true horror occurred in 2019 at the Corcoran State Prison. So Osuna was placed in a cell with Louis Romero. Romero was a man who had already served 27 years and was looking towards a potential parole. He should have been safe, or at least as safe as one can be in a high security lockup. Instead, he was placed with a predator. The incident occurred on the very first night that Romero was assigned to share a cell with Jaime Osuna at Corcoran State Prison. Using a makeshift weapon described as a razor-style blade wrapped in string and attached to a handle, Osuna attacked Romero while he was likely still alive for a significant portion of the assault. The prosecution and local district attorneys described the scene as exceptionally sadistic. The specific details of the mutilation include decapitation. Osuna used the makeshift blade to completely behead Romero. Facial mutilation. He sliced Romero's face on both sides of his mouth to create an extended smile, similar to a Glasgow smile. Dismemberment. Osuna removed several of Romero's body parts, including his eyes, one of his ears, and portions of his ribs and lungs. And also the necklace. When correctional officers finally entered the cell the following morning, they reportedly found Osuna wearing a necklace made of Romero's remains. Osuna had used Romero's blood to write "ha ha ha ha" across the walls of the cell. Absolutely mad.